who are being affected by the problem or the solution that you are thinking of. Is the problem a big necessity that it really solves a very critical aspect of a livelihood? I give you a few examples. One problem, one startup pitched that during the COVID times, contem, contamination was a big issue. Touching, like, we sell bamboo holders. One of our product is a bamboo holder. If you do not want to touch the latch or the handle of a door, you can pull it with a keychain. Fine. So someone innovated a clip which can be fixed on the glass so that you do not have to touch drink while drinking the water. You do not have to touch with your lips. Now, even a straw can be put in the glass. So whatever solution you think of, this was just an example, whatever solution you think of a problem has to be practical, has to really solve a problem. Now, there was another solution that helmets are almost mandatory across India and necessity also, whether they are mandatory or not. You being students, most of you would be owning bikes or two-wheelers, and it's really riding in cities like Ahmedabad, it's really tough. If you can ride in Ahmedabad or Gujarat or any part of India, you can ride anywhere in the globe, probably even I would say the Formula One also. It's so difficult. So one of the startup from Kolkata, there was a team of 6 people who invented a very smart helmet wherein you can, your whole analysis of your riding statistics can, be derived. How fast you are riding, how slow you are riding, what you are doing, what are your habits. You would be rewarded. You can receive call without minimal movements. You can your GPS, so your tracking is available. If your phone is dead, the last emergency call will go to the last phone call that you had, so that if anything happens, any mishap happens, the person can inform the emergency department, whichever department is important. So this problem was very practical. So whatever my point over here is, that whatever problem you are thinking has to really effectively solve at a larger space, not at a smaller space. One of the example that I wanted to quote is in Andhra Pradesh during COVID times, robots were serving the patients, so that no humans are required, and there was a dearth of nurses also and stewards also helping the patients. The size is very important. Whatever the solution you think of, it has to be large. It cannot afford to be small. If it is small, your business life cycle will be very less. So if it is large, you can continuously innovate, be creative, and be in the space or be in the business for a very long time. Duration, whatever solution you think of, at least minimum it has to be effective in execution for minimum 5 to 7 years. After that and during that, there has to be continuous innovations in the same product or service. So again, it cannot short live. The solution cannot be a short lived solution. Putting a clip in the glass so that the glass is not contaminated. COVID is an endemic, but you cannot change the habits of the people. So I don't think so people will be putting a straw or clip in the glass and drinking always for lifetime, however the problem is. So it cannot afford to short live. It has to be at least minimum 5 to 7 years or 10 years down the line, the execution of the solution should go on with innovation. Very simple thing, around you, in the institute, wherever you are living, in the city, you travel with family, there may be many problems around. Problems, you are in engineering space, you must be observing many problems around you. You have to Observe, ask questions to yourself, rather than accepting the problems, how it can be solved and how it can affect the major market. This will give you an idea to start an enterprise. So your mindset, you need to continuously observe around you. See, whatever we are discussing right now, it's not just people who want to start a business or a startup. Wherever you are working, probably some of you might think that, I'll have an experience of 2 3 years while working, I'll earn good money, then I'll invest in my own idea. Good idea. You'll get an experience of, how a corporate works, you know I mean, many other things, many management things. Nothing bad about that. And some of you might think that, you want to work for whole your life. That is also nothing bad about it. Equal respect to, people who want to start their own enterprise, who want to start later, or who never want to start and who want to work. But important is, what is your attitude? You, whether you are working for someone or have your own business, has to still be enterprising. So innovating while working also is also a startup. Supposedly I'm working somewhere and I come with an innovative idea, a service, a marketing campaign, a product. This will lead your career aspects or a company at a much greater level, and you will grow really well, and it is as satisfying as having your own startup. So whatever we are discussing is critical irrespective of what you want to do in life, in your careers. So once you have thought of an idea, it is very important to validate or test the idea before launching. Now, before launching, also, there are few important questions to be asked. As I said, whatever problem you identify, there must be a solution to it. Now, you have to think, what is the target market? How large or huge is the demand or future demand? Supposedly, Elon Musk invented an electronic car, probably before many in the world thought of. Don't you think he must have thought that what is his target market? Because his electronic car was very much necessary, because many countries have already told that they will be going completely electronic or fuel-less by 2030 or 35. Great. But his cars are costly. So he definitely must have identified what is his target market size, target segment, the target segment's habits, demography, geography, per capita income, age, everything. So all these questions are really very necessary before even testing the idea. So I'm sure he must have, thought of it. So, identifying the market size, the target segment is important. Right time to launch. So once the product at beta level or testing level is ready, you must know what is the right time to launch. Electronic bikes are really in rag in the market. I'll give you another example. Uh, Before anyone knew about electronic car, before 10 years, Chetan Maini, uh, founder of Reva, which has been bought by Mahindra and Mahindra now, he had invented an electronic car in India first. He has sold this same venture to Mahindra. Even it was sold in market also, but he was way ahead of time. Now, at that time, no one understood electronics. His car price was a bit higher than, the sedans also at that time, and it was a hatchback. So nothing wrong in being way ahead of time, but what is important is right time to test and, launch the product is very important. The solution a solution must be really effective to solve a problem, like Oyo. These days, women menstruation. I have my friend who owns a startup called Menstrupedia, educating in the rural areas, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities, what menstruation is. Now, India, in a country like India, where social taboo, sex and, such topics are really social taboo, menstruation. There are many myths, many issues, problems. I would say the best market to have such startup is India because of the acute socio-economic problems related to such topics. Now going forward, launching menstrual cups in this time was very much necessary because of the sustainability the menstrual cups provide. This is just an example. Is the product service possible to cater to the market size? Now, whatever problem you think of, supposedly in the COVID times, in I said in Andhra Pradesh, robots were launched to serve the patients. Now, the same robots, not only during the COVID times, it can, you know, be replaced in many, not replaced, but introduced in major hospitals across the globe if the cost of the robot is really, effective and affordable. Then those robots can really serve in operations. It can assist the surgeons in the operations. It can, mitigate the risk of, serving the soldiers during the wartime. It can, help the nurses also wherever the shortage of staff is available. So it has a huge potential. Is it possible to produce survey at an effective cost? Now this is really very important. you know uh, at the end probably people you'll speak, uh, one important question after the Shark Tank pitches by most of the startups was that what is the cost of the product, what is the selling price of the product. You being engineers, probably if you know, wonderful, you would know also now, gross margin is very important. Your next product sold, and difference between the price and the cost, that is the gross margin. So gross margin, is very important. Net margin, gross margin, cost and selling price. So whoever you are targeting, suppose Tesla was invented, his target market was upper class and upper middle class, not even upper middle class, upper class. He knew that whoever I'm targeting, they'll afford my car. But it cannot be affordable, it cannot afford to price it so high, even they think twice of buying it. Definitely it is a luxury, but still you have to price it rightly, evolve it in a way to keep on bringing down the cost and reducing the cost, and even launch a version that is affordable to lower than upper class, that is upper middle class or middle class later on. Maybe some brands might not want to. Mercedes and BMWs and Audis always want to cater to the upper middle and upper class. That is different strategy. So this is validating or testing the product. Very important thing that whatever problem you solve, sometimes you being students, you might think of a solution. You might think of validating the product in around your friend circle. No. So whatever solution you think, that product has to be tested to the right segment that it is ultimately sold to. Supposedly your solution is for your housewives. Now you testing amongst yourselves is not going to give you a right solution. You have to actually go to the housewives, get their feedback, taste the product there, and then you might come to the conclusion whether it is really launchable to the market or not. So right, identifying the target market, demographics and geography is very important. And one more thing, India as a country is a very diverse country. There are many big brands which have failed when they launched their products in India. You really need to study this. Probably if we had more time, I would have presented a few case studies also. When they come to India, they fail. Ford has failed. Now, even in India, every state has different culture, different geographies, different demographics, different languages. It's very diverse, and that is the beauty. Some problems might be helpful for complete the whole country. Some might be regional. If they are regional, then it should be launched in such a way. So I'll come to this slide later on. So important resources, what are the important resources one must think of and plan or have while one has planned to start his own enterprise or startup. A team, it is always important to work in a team. Supposedly you alone are working on an idea, probably you might think that you alone will be successful, but going forward, if you have a team who completes what your strengths and weaknesses, that will make you grow faster at a very lesser time, in a very lesser time, and will also help you emotionally and intelligently also complement you and complete you. So if you have a team, that is a big strength. Please remember this. Finance, you need to define, whatever initial capital you bring in, how long it will last. I come to this aspect, after other aspects. Beta testing of the product. Once the product is minimum viable product, before the product is even finished, you can keep testing it and keep improvising it. But there is nothing like perfection. Whenever whatever the robot was made and tested in, not tested, executed in Andhra Pradesh hospital during COVID times, it must not be a complete perfect robot, but it was necessary at that time to implement it, so it was implemented. But while executing, there might be some problems in the robot which were identified and which were corrected before even marketing the product finally to a larger market. So perfection is just something, a myth. You keep evolving it gradually. Ola had declared to launch its bikes, before 6 months or 8 months. Even I had given a pre-amount, booking amount to it, but still it has not been able to, successfully launch it. And nothing wrong in that. They will come with the best of the products gradually. It takes time. So you need to have verified suppliers of the raw material who can supply consistently. Supposedly your supplies are coming from China. I'm sure your business would break down, or have a brief uh, break. You need to have different, for a same product. You need to have different suppliers so that there is no dependency on one supplier or even on one buyer at times. It is very important whether your service or your startup is dependent or required to have technology or not. Technology is one thing which is inevitable. Even a grocery store today, જો આપણે કહીએ ને કરિયાણાની દુકાન, એ કરિયાણાની દુકાનને બી આજે ટેકનોલોજીનો ઉપયોગ અનિવાર્ય કરવો પડે છે. They need to have a payment gateway, they need to have digital payments acceptability, otherwise they lose customers. People are habituated after the demonetization and COVID. People are habituated mostly to make their payments digitally. So technology is an inevitable part. If you see in any way, like any departments of an organization, whether it is HR, whether it is marketing, production, operations, technology binds each and every department, and you have to accept it and adopt it very fast. Now your network is your college friends. Wonderful. Going out when you start your careers, it is always important to network outside your hobbies or your circle of friends. Important aspect is that network will help you to grow faster, solve your problems easier, find a solution to your problems much faster and easily. Network is એક ગુજરાતીમાં જૂની કહેવત છે, ઓળખાણ એ મોટી ખાણ છે. So it is very important to network. It's never a perfect time to start કરવાનો કોઈ perfect time નથી. Jignesh bhai probably won't like if I say, if you got a tremendous idea, if you think that will be hit, if your mentors think that will be hit, nothing wrong to drop out also. I'm sorry to say that. But what is important is that there is no right time to start. It could be today or any day. Don't wait for the product to be perfect. If your idea is validated, if you think, if your gut feeling says, or if your numbers say that yeah, it can be implemented and scaled up, then you must start it. And nothing wrong in failing. You fail, you have learned more than what 5 years of engineering might teach you. Trust me. So because whatever you are learning today definitely will be useful. I am in for my academics. Doing MBA in marketing has helped me a lot. Today it is helping me a lot. But when you practically do something in life, you fail. Failure is a bad master. You Some say failure is a bad, I mean, experience is what one learns from failures. So nothing wrong. You should celebrate the day you fail. You should cut a cake with your family or friends. Nothing wrong in, but you must go on. There is always a next time, keeping in mind what you have learned from the failure, and then you do the next time whatever you do. I have just not discussed about the finance, which I want to discuss later. Important aspects of business. Now, this is my third venture, and I've learned few things. What is very very necessary in business or startup? Less is always more. So what it means is that there might be, at times you might think there is a product. That same product, you might think that આ પ્રોડક્ટ થી આ બી થઈ શકે, આ બી થઈ શકે, આ બી થઈ શકે, આ બી થઈ શકે. It's always important to focus. If you are able to, there is this startup called Thyrocare, which is now sold to PharmEasy. Now Thyrocare has a chain of laboratories which does pathological tests. They only started with focusing on the thyroid gland. Now the whole body, just one organ of the body they focused, and it turned out to be giving them, when they sold the business, 2,400 crore revenue. Just imagine how many organs the body has, only focusing on thyroid. So less is always more. Resilience and patience are key. Business માં એવી વાત કહેવાય છે કે ધીરજ બહુ જરૂરી છે. ઉલટાનું અમારા બિઝનેસમાં તો ધીરજ જરૂરી છે અને બિઝનેસ એ ધીરજ વાળો. કારણ કે when I started organic, all you might think, most of the people thought that it is costly, authentic હશે કે નહીં હોય. But we knew that there is a potential demand. Health and environment are the biggest challenges any countries face in the world and going to face in the world. Sustainability is one important aspect that if you think of, and if it is practically, and it is practical, definitely it is going to be successful. Because any countries in the world, or tomorrow, the important critical problem that any country is going to face is sustainable. The any services or product has to be sustainable, environment friendly or eco friendly. It is so, the entrepreneurial journey or doing a business is never a smooth ride. It's never like this, or you'll keep riding like this. It's always like this, up and down. You have to enjoy it. You have to be ready for the adventure or thrill. It's like a roller coaster. Sometimes it is down also, and probably because it is down, it will go up more than previously it was. Selling, at the end of the day, you are engineers. Some of you might be good salesmen naturally. You have to definitely sell the product in the market. Having a person who is skilled with you in selling is always important. So if you are not a good salesman, you need to have a good salesman in the team who can sell your product. Cost, and I discussed about the cost of the product and selling price. Market study, I also discussed. Marketing and promotions. When I started marketing for 5 years in my academics, from 2000 to 2005, there was nothing called digital marketing. Mobile phones had just been launched. WhatsApp was not there. Today WhatsApp has become a necessity tool for any employee in the organization. When someone takes an interview, especially in departments like operations or marketing, sales, they mostly communicate through WhatsApp. uh, One of the major tools any organization uses for marketing today is digital marketing, because it is cheaper and it covers a larger market at a with less efforts and cost. Yeah, so I had to discuss two slides. One important thing that now we can make it interactive. Before that, I'll just complete one slide. Most of you might think that money, I do, I think Dharia was one person who thought that he wants to do a startup. So probably he must want to do because he is passionate about it. Fine. Some of you might not want to do, thinking that મારી પાસે પૈસા નથી. મારા હિસાબે પૈસા એક important resource નથી કંઈ start કરવા માટે. It નથી. I'll tell you one example about the owner of Thyroker, because I've met him personally. So when I pitched in Leaders of Tomorrow ET Now, he was one of the panel of the judges, Mr. Velumani. He is from one of the poorest city in Tamil Nadu. He was a gazetted officer with some physical, some scientific or physical research. His wife was working with SBI. They were very meagerly paid, not meagerly but mid-sized paid salaried people. He was very intelligent. He left his job. When he left his job, he hardly had any money. Even his wife left her job. So now they didn't know that whatever the money they invested in the business, how would they run their personal life, also personal living, the cost of living ક્યાંથી કાઢશે. So આ બધું I am saying is that you might think that પૈસા વગર ધંધો ના થાય. I think એવું નથી. You people are lucky that government of India, the state government, the central government has many schemes. If you have an idea, not product, ideation stage માં જ છે, it is still in the ideation stage. If you present it, then there are schemes which finances you. There are angel investors which finances you. There are friends and family which, if you think and how you present it, agar છે ખરેખર potential તો એ લોકો finance કરે છે. Banks which gives you loans. There are many modes of finance. Money is just this necessary resources to start. It is not that if you have money then only you can start. There are many examples even without their own money and they are successful. So this was about finance. Yeah, so I wanted to present to you what are the sectors that you can look forward to problems and solutions, especially after COVID. So healthcare is one, definitely you will agree. Pharmaceutical, environment and sustainability. I'll this is my one of the passionate and favorite subjects, not because I'm inclined towards this or I'm in this domain, because I am very sure that the world is going to face, and it is facing, big problems. Today you see the green cover is going, the pollution, the after effects and the side effects of the pollution, whether it is air, water or soil pollution. Most of the countries have set a target of converting to non-fuel cars or vehicles. Sustainable transportation. So in any area, sustainability is very important aspect from which you can think of a problem and solution both. Socio-economic problems, again, I never imagined if you want to meet a psychiatrist, you can subscribe to plans online aggregator and you can talk to psychiatrists even online. So the things have changed. I mean, so you can look at that aspects also, socio-economic aspects also. Agriculture, this is one field which is going to revolutionize. So you people in engineering field, electronic field, if you are able to come with a product which can help farmers smartly do farming, that is definitely going to work. You might have seen Piyush Goyal of Lenskart investing in one person called Kamlesh. He had invented a bicycle which used to spray pesticides, and that was a multi-purpose thing. Now imagine he was a seventh grade dropout. He kept on inventing this product for 7 years, and he somehow struggled with resilience and patience. He was able to come to Shark Tank platform and present it, and Piyush Goyal invested in the seventh grade dropout. You people are lucky that you are engineers. So just imagine what opportunities you have. Services, logistics, and supply chain are again going to revolutionize any segment, because e-commerce is going to be, a prevalent way of selling, and many startups are already successful. Amazon, Flipkart, many other startups are also doing great. Inside the Amazon, many startups are doing huge profits. So on the only way e-commerce can be viable and profitable is logistics and supply chain. Now it may be pharmaceutical logistics, it may be agriculture logistics. Agriculture is still not the logistics is not optimized. There are a lot to be done in the logistical aspect of agricultural sector. Retail and FMCG, IT is evergreen, whether it is in the stock market or whether it is really in the field. I mean, as I said, technology is going to be inevitable in the household, in the industries, anywhere you go. You walk from your home, walk, I'm not telling ride, you walk from your home to your college, you are using some or the other technology. Remember this. You have a phone in your pocket, you have a watch which is again smart, you are definitely using some or the other technology. So technology is such, HR services, defense, the government wants to be self dependent, producing the defense arms and ammunitions or any defense products. Hospitality, travel, tourism. You being engineers does not mean that you do not explore other sectors. Nothing. It is important that problem क्या છે. Problem ઘરમાં બી હોઈ શકે, કોલેજમાં બી હોઈ શકે, ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીમાં બી હોઈ શકે. Wherever it is, your engineering mind has to think for a solution to the problem. But that is it. You must like the field that you are in. The problem must be such that it really is a problem actually, not for your own self or for one person, but a larger market. So best field to go is field which you like. I like this field a lot. I was why I started this business, I want to tell you, because I was inspired by a book called Hot, Flat and Crowded. It is a sequel of World is Flat, written by Thomas Friedman. He was an international journalist and an environmental journalist now. He knew all the presidents, prime ministers, and kings of the world. He has traveled most of the countries. And in the book, it was mentioned very vividly with facts and figures. Whichever country were towards sustainable development were actually happy and growing. Whichever changed from non-sustainable to sustainable, there are some Middle Eastern countries also, started being happy and open, having an open culture and growing. So this made me inspire that if I do a business in this field, I'll also be happy, because at the end of the day, even a businessman is stressed out when he goes home. So I am satisfied every day going home that I am doing something which a society needs. Whether it needs or not, I'm happy that I'm giving something back to the society, irrespective of earning profit. Yeah, so this is all from me. We can have question answers. Dignesh bhai.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your wonderful the thought process that you have defined is excellent. એક ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ ને કે એમ જે આપણે ધંધો વાળું એમ, અને તમે જે એક્સપેક્ટ કીધા ઇટ્સ રિયલી જે સાચું એક જેને કે ઓનેસ્ટલી એક સારો એવો બિઝનેસ ધોઝ વોન્ટ ટુ ડુ, it will definitely help the students in all aspects. Sir, I would like to yes. Just Kiran, 1 minute, Kiran. We will allow you to speak, okay, and then you can ask any question and anything. Just give me 5 minutes, okay? Sir, one thing that the startup that I have seen your website, GreenoBazaar. It's excellent. The product that you have put it over there, it's excellent. very nice product. Okay. So I would like to know that how did you manage to કે ભાઈ અમારે આ પ્રોડક્ટ બનાવી છે આની અંદર આવી રીતે કન્ટેન્ટ રાખીશ કે એ તમે કેવી રીતે આખું ડિસાઈડ કર્યું ને પ્લાન આઉટ કર્યું?
So when before starting, I done a small market survey. I wanted to do something in the field of environment and health, but I didn't know what to do. તો મને એવો વિચાર આવ્યો કે હું હોલિસ્ટિકલી એક ફેમિલીને એક ચોઇસ ઓફ લિવિંગ કેવી રીતે આપી શકું કે એ હેલ્ધી લાઈફ અને એન્વાયરમેન્ટ ફ્રેન્ડલી લાઈફ જીવી શકે. તો સોલ્યુશન એ હતું કે ખાલી ફૂડ હું એમને આપીશ તો એ હેલ્ધી લાઈફ જીવશે, પણ એન્વાયરમેન્ટને ઇમ્પેક્ટ કરશે પણ એટલો બધો નહીં. તો મને એવો વિચાર આવ્યો કે હું અગર બધા ઇન્ડિયાના પ્રોડ્યુસર્સ હોય સારા પ્રોડક્ટ્સના જે ઇકો ફ્રેન્ડલી હોય, હેલ્ધી હોય અને ઓર્ગેનિક હોય, એ એક ચોઇસ ઓફ લિવિંગ આપું. પછી એ ફૂડ હોય, બેબી કેર હોય, પર્સનલ કેર હોય, બેમ્બુ હોય, આર્ટ એન્ડ ક્રાફ્ટ હોય, ક્લોધિંગ હોય, આખી લાઈફ એક નાના છોકરાથી લઈને મોટી ઉંમરના માણસ માટે ફેમિલીમાં અગર બધું પ્રોવાઈડ કરવું તો ડેફિનેટલી કસ્ટમર આવીને એની ફેમિલીના જે નીડ્સ હશે એ બધું પરચેસ કરવાના જ છે. તો આઈ thought of offering a choice of living to a family, Indian family, of providing them complete eco-friendly and organic solution. મારું જે પ્લેટફોર્મ હતું એ એગ્રીગેટર પ્લેટફોર્મ હતું when I started. Right. I used to source from different suppliers from across India. We have more than 100 suppliers, and now we have our own brand of products.
Own brand. Yes, I've seen. પેલી પેન્સિલ વાળું જે હતું ને તો like I was amazed કે
plantable pencil you meant to say?
પેલું પેન્સિલ નાના છોકરા પેલી પાછળ ભરાવાનું કંઈક હોય છે ને.
અચ્છા, હા, the seeds, plantable seeds.
Yes. Because I have a small daughter and I know that એ છેલ્લી પેન્સિલ આટલી તો એની વેસ્ટ જ જાય છે.
Right.
એટલે એ જે પેલું જે સીડ્સ વાળું જે હતું ને it was excellent. And some of like I have seen like corporate gift na boxes ને જે તમે એમ કર્યું તો like it was a totally organic. The way it was designed, it was looking so lavish.
Thank you.
Believe me, it was looking so lavish. Even I have shared with my colleagues also. એ બોક્સ ખાલી આટલું આપણને એમ લાગે કે ભાઈ આ કાર્ડબોર્ડ નું બનાવેલું બોટ, પણ જે lavish લાગતું હતું, it's hats off to you, sir.
Thank you.
You're doing very wonderful job.
Thank you.
And that really inspired me. And yes, it's my kind request to all students. Please visit the GreenoBazaar website and look for the stuffs, because it is really admiring things that how you can have our organic things with us.
We have 3 stores also in fact. One at Goodbye Chitra, Shyamal, and another at Thaltej. And we have another venture, pilot venture, that is an offshoot of the venture only we started. It is a zero waste juice bar. એ થોડુંક તમને લોકોને ગમશે. એમાં if you pedal a cycle, you can blend your own juice. A juicer is attached to the wheel, front wheel of the cycle or a back wheel of the cycle. અને pedal કરીને juice blend થાય and you can drink it. And it is completely served in fruit skins or coconut bowls which are reusable.
Coconut bowls. Yes, I have seen that on your Instagram post. That the pedal one I have seen in the Instagram.
It's GreenoBazaar. It's called GreenoBazaar.
Yes, right. So see, the students like Rajan sir has said the things about like living with our nature, okay, and giving the good things to society. It's really required these days. So it's like yes, you can also start thinking in this direction and all, right? Sir, we have one question from Kiran. Yes, Kiran, you can unmute yourself and please have a conversation. Okay.
Type your question, Kiran. Don't worry.
Yes.
You can type it over here. I'll reply.
Okay. So, sir, he has a question that if I have idea, what will next process to start a startup?
So, whatever idea you have, the next process is that if it is a service, you have to think of how will you provide the service. Before thinking of how will you provide the service, you have to think of that આ જે પ્રોડક્ટ છે કે સર્વિસ છે એ કોના માટે જરૂરી છે. સો આ કોના માટે છે ને એને ડિફાઇન કરવું પડે. I'll put 3 way of asking questions. What, શું પ્રોડક્ટ કે સર્વિસ છે? how will you provide and how will you sell it and how will it be useful જેને તમે વેચો છો અને why સૌથી ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ છે આ આઈડિયાનું કે આ તમે શું કામે કરો છો જો તમે આ વાય તમે આન્સર કર્યું શું કામે કરો છો તો તમારું એને લઈને એક ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ કે વિઝન સેટ થશે કે હા મારે એન્વાયરમેન્ટને ઇમ્પેક્ટ કરવું છે તો એ એક લાર્જર વિઝન સેટ થયું તમારે કંઈ બી પ્રોડક્ટ ડેવલપ કરવું હોય કે તમે માનો કે યુ સે હમણાં વી વર થિંકિંગ અબાઉટ પ્લાન્ટેબલ પેન્સિલ્સ સો વાય પ્લાન્ટેબલ પેન્સિલ્સ plantable pencils because everyone uses pencils it is a huge market it's crore pencil bechati hai every day now after the pencil is used first of all pencil je thai je wood mathi bane છે unless it is not recycled wood or upcycled wood it is again destroying the environment so amari je pencil છે it is made of paper any end ma we put some seeds. Now everyone has small plants in the house they can grow a plant તો પેન્સિલ ના બોટમ માં લખેલું હોય છે કે કયું પ્લાન્ટ છે પ્રોડક્ટ કિરણ ને હોય આઈડિયા હોય એ કોના માટે યુઝફુલ થશે અગર પ્રોડક્ટ હોય તો એને પ્રોડક્ટનું પ્રોટોટાઇપ ડેવલપ કરવાનું ચાલુ કરો કોસ્ટની ચિંતા ના કરો અહીંથી ત્યાંથી લઈને એક સસ્તું બનાવો સસ્તું બનાવીને અગર તમારે એ સેમ્પલ રેડી થયું તો ફિનિશ પ્રોડક્ટ રીતે બનશે એનો કોસ્ટિંગ કાઢો વેચાશે કેટલામાં એ વિચારો માર્કેટ સાઇઝ કેટલી છે એ વિચારો તમે એને માર્કેટ કેમ કરશો એ વિચારો તો ખાલી એક પ્રોડક્ટ રેડી કદાચ કામ આવે ના આવે તમે એક પ્રોડક્ટ રેડી કર્યું એની યુઝેબિલિટી રેડી કરી અગર એ ખરેખર યુઝ થઈ શકે તમને ખબર પડી જશે એ રેડી કરવામાં જ અને નહીં યુઝ થઈ શકે તો ઓકે યુ વિલ ગો ટુ ધ નેક્સ્ટ સ્ટેજ બટ આ પ્રોડક્ટની વાત છે ઇફ ઇટ ઇઝ અ સર્વિસ then you have to ask what, why, how. What is the service? How will it be useful? Or how will people use it? And why you are providing that service? Why you will know the market size, the future potential. So, આ બધું ideation માં આવે. So when you say you an idea, the next stage is to ask these questions.
Right. So I think Kiran, your question is answered basically like yes as sir has suggested that you first identify validate your product right we are kya chalse શું છે કેવી રીતે that sir has said it's very important exactly right let me give one more example over here GTU sir you may have idea about the Gujarat Technological University they are also giving the good funding for the startup and innovation empowerment.
Most of the now entrepreneur centers, incubation centers.
Yes. Just last month they had the screening session of the startup, and I was as one of the evaluator over there. So one student has come with a product like this idea that is delivery of the medicine using drone.
Oh wow, wonderful.
And in that he said that like some of the places that the drone is not reachable like for example in street from the street to your house the drone is not deliverable so in that case they can provide a kind of the moving robot that can reach to your house right yes the idea was like it was a catching your views and all that things but when we ask about where you will project this what is your target market right because in like if you talk about the big cities right so we have the like within the 1 kilometer area we have the 4 to 6 medical shops even some in many areas you can get the like 20 crores medical shop
right
so like but the major target area could be like rural areas or some other places where the like the delivery of the medicines are not on based on the time or like within the time limit or some stock.
I think having a drone as for delivering is not in the pharmaceutical space or it is not a technological space it is just a supply chain and logistics solution that one is providing.
Yes and like આપણે કહીએ ને કે આપણે અહીંયા અમદાવાદમાં તમારે ક્યાંક ડ્રોનથી ડિલિવરી કરવી હોય તો ઇટ્સ ક્વાઇટ
હા, so practically if I think અગર નિયરબાય માં બે ત્રણ શોપ્સ મેડિકલ શોપ્સ 4-5 હોય જ છે, તો એનું માર્કેટ યુઝેબિલિટી અગર કોવિડ ના ટાઈમ્સ માં હોય તો હાઈ છે, બટ નોન કોવિડ ટાઈમ્સ માં ઇટ ઇઝ નોટ સો હાઈ, બીકોઝ ફેમિલી મેમ્બર્સ ક્યારે ને ક્યારે કોઈ મેડિકલ શોપ ની એટલી ડિસ્ટન્સ માં તો ટ્રાવેલ કરતું જ હોય છે.
Yes, so that like જે આપણે ડિસ્કશન અત્યારે થયું ને કે we have idea, but like these are the some questions that should be solved properly.
Exactly.
Then your idea can be fully validated, and then you can, if you go with that, then it will be very helpful to you.
Exactly. So asking initial questions after the idea will validate your make it feasible or viable.
Right. Okay. Any other questions? Yes, Mohit. Dhairya, please go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Dhairya.
Sir, when currently like we are studying in the college, after we have graduated, should we do some jobs to get the experience of the market and then think of starting a startup?
So a good question, Dhairya. So as I said, there is no right time. If you have a product or idea right now, start today. If you think that you want to learn different aspects of running a business management and which will help you, and if you do not have an idea right now, I think doing job somewhere will help you. That is, I agree with you. Even I worked somewhere and I am in for that, because તમે લોકો એન્જિનિયરિંગ સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ છો, તમને કદાચ ઘણા લોકોને ખબર હશે, ના બી ખબર હોય, that's okay. Not necessary, but you will get on field experience કે ભાઈ HR, operations, sales, marketing, આ બધું કેવી રીતે એક સ્ટ્રક્ચર્ડ ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશનમાં કોર્પોરેટમાં રન થાય છે. તો એ તમને જ્યારે તમારો આઈડિયા તમને આવે સ્ટાર્ટ કરવાનું, તમને ત્યારે બહુ હેલ્પ કરશે. અને આજે અગર આઈડિયા હોય તો આઈ થિંક યુ શુડ નોટ વેઇટ. આ બધું સોલ્વ થઈ શકે.
Okay, sir.
But it will help you if you work also.
Yes, Dhairya.
And sir, one more, like there are many times when we think like our idea, it's participating with someone other's idea, but it's different.
Okay.
So we think that is this right to start take this idea on our own, or like you give the example of the helmet. In this, the main was that they provided a solution in which the message are sent to the family and all.
Right.
And so if the currently all the companies that are making electronic vehicles, they just put their this update in their software applications as all of their software applications, then the helmet would become practically useless. As
you are right. You are right. Good question. Very good question. So actually their product was not helmet. Helmet was just a complementary product that was being sold with the software. That is what you mean to say, right?
Yes, sir. And they were, if someone takes the software and puts it in the bike, then they
very true. It will serve the purpose. But if you see two aspects, they integrated the software with the helmet so that everyone wears the helmet, number one. Number two, if they sell the software and helmet company sells the helmet, then they'll grow faster and they'll focus on the technology, which is the core aspect. That is what the investors say. This is one part of the question I'm answering. Another part is probably you are asking me that agar whatever I am doing, someone else is doing, and if I do it differently, right, Dhairya?
Sir, it's taking their idea, like a little part of their idea.
So if you also are able to develop a software that is better than them or enhancing them, or even doing the same things that they are doing but in a different way, so a question no agar answer mare karvano hoy, I'll tell you that if a competitor is selling a product, and if you think the competitor is not able to reach the market size the product potential has. For example, when Flipkart started e-commerce business, the market size was huge. billions of dollar market size હતું. ખાલી ઇન્ડિયાનું જ વાત કરું છું. After that Meesho started just few months back. આ તો ફ્લિપકાર્ટે તો સ્ટાર્ટ કરી હતી 10 વર્ષ પહેલા. Shopclue started. There are Amazon came. Now just imagine all of them are doing fine. I'm not saying great, but yeah, doing fine. So if the market size is so big that one player is not able to, reach or, cover the market, and you also think that you can do it in a better way or different way, faster. Important is how will you execute it. So execution will make you stand out better than your competitor. Nothing wrong.
Okay, sir.
એટલે એવું જરૂરી નથી કે ઇનોવેટિવ હોવું. ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ એ છે કે જરૂરિયાત છે માર્કેટમાં પ્રોડક્ટ કે સર્વિસની, તમે એને પૂરી પાડી શકો છો સારી રીતે, બસ that is important.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Very well said with some excellent good examples, sir. Very appreciated. Yes, આપણે કે કરિયાણાની દુકાન આજુબાજુમાં બે બંને દુકાનો હોય છે ને, અત્યારે આપણે જોઈએ છે ને, તો
બંને ચાલતું હોય છે.
હા, એટલે this is what like it's a part of thing, but yes, the better way you can do it.
Exactly.
Major role.
I will prefer one કરિયાણાની દુકાન because એ કરિયાણાની દુકાનનો વ્યવહાર સારો હશે. The way he is selling, the more different kind of products he is selling, તો હું ત્યાં prefer કરીશ psychologically. So how you execute it is more important than anything else.
Yes, excellent. Yes, sir. Like we have the Zomato and Swiggy and all the different things are there. One more thing, sir, I would like to add in that if anything has been patented or copyrighted, so in that case, what could be the solution?
So અગર પેટન્ટ થઈ ગયું હોય અને તમે એ ડોમેઇનમાં તમે કરતા હોય તો I would do, or I would suggest is that how you can collaborate with the person who is owning the patent. Number one, if you are not able to do, how differently I can do it. My first attempt would be, અગર જેની પાસે પેટન્ટ છે એ માણસ માર્કેટ કવર નથી કરી શકતો કે પ્રોડક્ટ કે સર્વિસ નથી આપી શકતો, તો હું એની સાથે કોલેબોરેટ કરી લઈશ. બીકોઝ એ પેટન્ટને ઓપન થતા નહીં, કાં તો મને એ પેટન્ટ વેચી નાખશે તો હું પરચેસ કરી લઈશ, નહીં વેચે તો હું કોલેબોરેટ કરી લઈશ. અને થર્ડ થિંગ ઇઝ બંને I will find a different solution to the same problem.
બરાબર છે, perfect. Exact. Okay, that's yes, anyone else? Any student, if you have any doubt or query?
Hello sir.
Yes please. Wait.
સર મારો એક એવો ડાઉટ હતો કે કોઈ સર્વિસ બેઝડ એપ્લિકેશન છે તમારી પાસે, તો એના અર્નિંગ એટલે એમાંથી તમે કઈ રીતના અર્ન કરી શકો છો, એમાં કયા રીતના એક એડવર્ટાઇઝમેન્ટ હોઈ શકે છે, પણ એ થોડુંક મને નથી લાગતું કે ખાસું અર્ન થઈ શકે, તો બીજી કઈ વેઝથી અર્ન થઈ શકે કોઈ એપ્લિકેશન, મોબાઈલ એપ્લિકેશન થ્રુ?
ઓકે, તો આઈ થિંક આ બહુ જેનેરિક ક્વેશ્ચન છે, હું સમજી ગયો. તમે એમ કહો છો કે ભાઈ કોઈ બી એપ્લિકેશન હોય એમાં અર્ન કરવાના ઘણા તરીકા હોય છે. અને એનો ગુડ એક્ઝામ્પલ આપું, વોટ્સએપ. બાય ધ વે, વોટ્સએપ ઇઝ નોટ અર્નિંગ એટ ઓલ. The fact is it is not earning at all. Now this is a very good question. It is solving a problem, and it is solving such a great problem. I think I would not say it is a solving a problem. It is giving a enhanced comfort solution that is potentially used. A problem હતો જ નહીં, કમ્યુનિકેશન તો થતું જ હતું, બટ એક enhanced way માં કમ્યુનિકેશન, ફાસ્ટ કમ્યુનિકેશન ની એક કમ્ફર્ટ આપે છે. સો એ કોઈ બી એપ હોય તો એમાં ડેટા સેલ થઈ શકે. There are apps which derive data, and data are sold to big corporates for their market size, demographic, geographic study, market research. You engage people. Now Facebook, when it started, for many first initial years it was just engaging social, it was a social network platform. Monetize though it started doing later on. So there are many apps which engages people. In the engaging, they create some service which the other business uses those service and makes money out of it. So directly or indirectly, what is important is the most important thing app ma is that how many people will come on the app, use the app, and how much time they'll spend on the app. Agar that number of people spending time and using the app is large, then the business opportunity is there definitely. If it is less, then there is no opportunity.
સર મારે બીજો બી ક્વેશ્ચન હતો કે આપણી પાસે જો એક આઈડિયા છે તો એના માટે અને એના પછી નેક્સ્ટ સ્ટેપ રહેશે કે ટીમ બિલ્ડિંગનું. તો ટીમ બિલ્ડિંગ માટે આપણે આપણો આઈડિયા શેર બી કરવો જોઈશે અને કદાચ આપણો આઈડિયા સાંભળીને અગ્રી કરે બી અને ના બી કરે એટલે આપણી ટીમમાં જોઈન થાય બી કે ના બી થાય. પણ એવા ટાઈમે આપણે મારો આઈડિયા લીક થઈ રહ્યો છે બહાર, તો મારે એ કઈ રીતના હું પ્રિવેન્ટ કરી શકું કે કોઈ બીજું બી કદાચ સ્ટાર્ટ કરી લે મારા આઈડિયાથી અને થોડોક મને ડર રહે કોઈની સાથે વાત કરવામાં, તો શું સોલ્યુશન થઈ શકે એ ટાઈમ પર?
ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ એ છે કે you have to have belief in yourself. So before starting my business, even I shared my idea with everyone. I had pitched already the idea at many platforms also, like eChai તમે સાંભળ્યું હશે. So I think જેનામાં હું થોડુંક અલગ ભાષામાં કહીશ, જેનામાં દમ હશે એ કરી લેશે. જો તમારામાં દમ હશે તો તમે કરી લેશો. ઠીક છે? એટલે unless you don't share, how will you make the other person believe in you and the idea? You come with me. તમારે સૌથી પહેલો સ્ટેપ છે, if you want a co-founder in the team, that કા તો એમ્પ્લોયી ઇન ધ ટીમ, તમારે એને શેર તો કરવું પડશે ને કે એમ્પ્લોયી શું કામ કરશે, તમારો આઈડિયા શું છે. પણ યુ ડુ નોટ હેવ અ બિગ કોર્પોરેટ બિગ ઓફિસ, ઇન્ટરવ્યુ લીધું ને કોઈ આવી ગયું, તો યુ વિલ હેવ ટુ શેર યોર આઈડિયા. તો એ ડરને તો પાછળ છોડવો જ પડશે. ઇફ યુ બિલીવ ધેટ યુ વિલ ડુ ઇટ, then why you need to be afraid of not sharing your idea? I know sharing your idea એ કરી લેશે તો. So there are pros and cons. You share your idea with people whom you can trust. અને આનો કોઈ એન્ડ નથી unless you don't share it. આ તો પછી તમે ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ કરી નાખો. Before sharing to anyone, at least do some homework કે તમે એક સ્ટેજ ઉપર પહોંચી ગયા હોય કે બીજો માણસને તમે શેર કરો અને એ સ્ટાર્ટ કરે એની પહેલા you have reached to a stage. By the time he reaches to your stage, you will be at higher stage. So somewhere you have to share. It is an inevitable thing. Without sharing, even Mark Zuckerberg had shared to one Jewish person who invested in his idea. If you remember, if you've seen that movie, I forgot the movie name.
Social network.
So even he had shared to a Jewish friend who invested in his idea. So he trusted him. अगर ए Jewish friend में दम होत कि बीजाने इन्वेस्ट करीने ए भी करी सकतो होत, तो somewhere someone you have to trust.
Hello sir.
Yes.
Sir, but sir એમાં જે તે માર્ક ઝુકરબર્ગ નતો એને પહેલા જે એના સિનિયર હતા એને જે આઈડિયા કીધેલો હતો,
his senior's idea. I got it. So એના senior was dependent on Mark Zuckerberg. They shared idea to Mark Zuckerberg because they wanted to hire. They took a risk. I agree with you. Now they took a risk which was not calculated. They themselves didn't know the coding. They knew that Mark Zuckerberg was expert in the coding. Mark Zuckerberg came to know the idea. He did the coding. अगर मान लो કે જે એના સિનિયર એને સજેસ્ટ કર્યું હોત, એમાંથી કોઈને કોડિંગ આવડતું હોત અને થોડું કોડિંગ કરી બી લીધું હોત, they would have been high. So I કેવું છે કે you have to take a calculated risk somewhere. Business નો એક પેલો એક synonym word કહું, which no dictionary will say, is risk. So risk is always you have to carry with you when you wake up till you sleep, being an entrepreneur. But you have to definitely take a calculated risk. I'm not saying you just announce it before implementing the idea કે આને કરું આને ના કરું. That is your call. But કર્યા વગર વાત કર્યા વગર તો તમારે co-founder નહીં આવે, employee નહીં આવે. So somewhere at some point you have to start. I've done that, and I've seen many people, not most of the people doing it. I'm not saying that તમે બધાને વાત કરતા ફરો, નહીં. હું કહું છું કે calculated risk લો ને. Rather than announcing the whole classroom, you can just tell to your confident friends કે ભાઈ આ મારો આઈડિયા છે, તમે જોડાવા માંગો છો કે નથી માંગતા, fine. And just you can tell them that unless I start an idea, keep this with you. અગર વાત કરી બી દે તો શું છે, you have to have belief in yourself.
ઓકે સર, અને એમાં
એક બીજું ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ વાત, તમે તમારે પાસે આઈડિયા છે એને ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ ના કર્યો, તમે કોઈને કીધું બી નહીં, તો આઈડિયાનું શું થયું? ઇટ્સ યુઝલેસ. ઇટ ઇઝ એઝ ગુડ એઝ નોટ હેવિંગ એન આઈડિયા. મારી પાસે આઈડિયા નથી, તમારી પાસે આઈડિયા છે 5 વર્ષથી, તમે એનું કંઈ કર્યું નથી, તો હું ને તમે સેમ પેજ ઉપર જ છીએ. ઇટ્સ નોટ ધેટ યુ આર એટ 1 and I am 0. We both are 0.
યસ. એન્ડ સર, એઝ અ પ્રિકોશન આપણે કોઈ લીગલ ડોક્યુમેન્ટ્સ રહી શકે છે આપણી પાસે, કે આપણે એમની સાઇન કરાવી લઈએ આઈડિયા કહેતા પહેલા?
That you can do. જ્યારે ધૈર્ય asked me કે માર્ક ઝકરબર્ગના સિનિયરે એમને આઈડિયા કર્યો હતો, તો એ લોકોએ તો કઈ એગ્રીમેન્ટ બી નથી કર્યું, આઈડિયા શેર કર્યો હતો. તો when the Facebook was launched, he had to give them some royalty. એને કઈક એના પૈસા આપવા પડ્યા હતા. Now I'll come to your question, Mohit, કે if you can definitely sign an agreement while hiring someone, he must not share his idea unless executed or announced or launched. That agreement, and that person is liable to keep the information as confident.
સર, તમે એ લીગલ પ્રોસિજર તમને શેર કરશો કે કઈ રીતનું થઈ શકે?
એવું કઈ structured process નથી. You can get this drafted with any CA or I would say a lawyer. It's a very raw draft. હું તમને સમજાવું. Date, your name, address him to in one sentence that this is regarding the idea I shared to you. You are bound to keep the idea with yourself unless it is launched. So this is a contractual agreement between one party to another party, saying that unless it is launched, because you are working with me, you are bound to keep the idea safe. If he is not working to you, he is not bound to keep the idea with him. Let me tell you. અગર તમારી જોડે કામ કરવાના હોય તો ઠીક છે, બટ મારો પોઈન્ટ એક જ છે કે એટલા બધા ડરો નહીં. I have shared my idea. વાળા માણસમાં હિંમત હશે, તમારા કરતા વધારે રિસ્ક ટેકિંગ કેપેસિટી કરશે, જેનામાં દમ હશે રે એ કરશે. અને તમને એક ફેક્ટ વાત કહું, દમ ઓછા લોકોમાં હોય છે, સોરી ટુ સે, બટ risk taking ability is not taught in any school or colleges or any university. It is either you have it or not, or you can develop it also, but you should not be afraid so much. But I am at the same time not telling you to keep announcing even. Start working on it rather than I'll tell you about me. I wanted a co-founder when I started. I didn't get a co-founder for 1 year, not 1 year, also few months. I told to myself કે હું રાહ નહીં જોઉં, મળ્યું તો ઠીક છે, નહીં મળ્યું તો I start. For 3 years I ran my business myself. I was the alone founder, not co-founder, founder of the company. I had employees, I was working and I was successful. I broke even in 1 year. Merger તો મેં 4 વર્ષ પછી કર્યું 2020 માં. Then I got a co-founding team. Otherwise till then I started. So if you have an idea, start working on it. That is important. So when you think that it is ready to launch, pachi share karo. Pachi to you are open to share, no, everyone. Anyway, you are going to announce it. So important is you start doing it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
જર્નીમાં જ્યારે તમે ગાંધીનગર થી કોઈ બી સિટી ટ્રાવેલ કરો છો, તો એ દરમિયાન તમે 10 લોકોને મળો છો, બરાબર? તમે વોક જ નહીં કરો, તમે ચાલશો જ નહીં તો તમે મળશો કેવી રીતે? તમે ચાલવાનું શરૂ કરો, તમને મળતા જશે લોકો, જે જોડાતા જશે. Important is you have to leave your home.
Yes, sir.
I think Mohit, you are very clear now. And another thing, like you can go with the yes, as sir has suggested, CA and lawyer can help you better in that. You can either go for the patents or copyrights, and you can work on those aspects also. Right? Okay. Anyone?
So one last question.
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Sir, like we we do our daily tasks, we go from આપણે જે રીતે રોજ આપણે લાઈફ હાલતી હોય છે એમાં આપણે ઘણીવાર આપણે અલગ અલગ સિચ્યુએશનમાં ઘણી બધી પ્રોબ્લેમ્સને આપણે એન્કાઉન્ટર કરતા હોઈએ છીએ, બટ હવે પ્રોબ્લેમ્સને આપણે પ્રોપરલી આઈડેન્ટિફાઈ નહીં કરી પાવતા, તો આપણે કોઈ બી સિચ્યુએશનમાં આવીએ તો એમાંથી આપણે પ્રોબ્લેમને પ્રોપરલી આઈડેન્ટિફાઈ કેવી રીતે કરવું એ જ છે.
હા, 3 questions: what, why, how. Ask yourself 3 questions: that what is the problem, how, or what is the solution to the problem, how will you execute the solution, how larger the market is, there are, what, why, how my subsets. There are many questions. You have to keep writing those questions. Agar मैं तमने जरे मैं when I was showing the presentation, I put many important things, aspects, and I don't mind sharing you, Jignesh bhai, I'll share you this. If you want to share with the students, that is okay, because some of them might not have noted and it will be important. I don't mind sharing.
Fine.
તો ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ એ છે કે માર્કેટ સાઇઝ શું છે સોલ્યુશન ની, પ્રોબ્લેમ ની, કોસ્ટ, સેલિંગ પ્રાઇસ. ઇનિશિયલી જ્યારે પ્રોબ્લેમ હોય તો અમુક પ્રોબ્લેમના સોલ્યુશન કંઈ એવા મેજર ના હોય, કદાચ એ તમારી કોલેજના એરિયામાં જ પ્રોબ્લેમ એક્ઝિસ્ટ કરતી હોય, કોલેજ બારે ના કરતી હોય, that means there is not a big market. ઓર એનો મતલબ એવો બી થઈ શકે કે ઇન્ડિયાની જેટલી બી કોલેજીસ છે ત્યાં પ્રોબ્લેમ છે, then there is a big market. So આ બધા questions you have to ask and answer.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Generally, what we come across like when we have the project session and on that, I would like to add in that. Okay, students, when they come us with the, like, we ask students to come with their project definition or problem identification. They have really good subject in their curriculum, design engineering, they say.
Right.
And it starts from the third semester, that is from the second year, and goes up to the last year. Means up to second and third year.
Okay.
So they have full 2 years to work on this kind of the, like, identification of the problem, then solution of the problem, and in the last year they can even go for the prototyping of the problem.
Okay.
So that is what it has been included into the curriculum as well.
Okay.
But when the student comes with the problem, like then what generally happens, they come with some, like, એમની જે તકલીફ હોય ને એમાં એને એ પ્રોબ્લેમ સમજી લે છે.
સારી વાત છે, શરૂઆત તો ત્યાંથી જ થાય, પણ પછી એને એક્સટેન્ડ કરવું પડે.
એક્સટેન્ડ કરે, એક્ઝેક્ટલી.
જે પ્રોબ્લેમ છે તને બી છે, આને બી છે, ઓને બી છે, કે કેટલા લોકોને છે.
યસ.
તો ત્યાંથી you have to ask 100 questions, and if then 100 માંથી અગર 30 કે 50 questions બી રાઈટ આન્સર થઈને ફિઝિબલ બિઝનેસ મોડેલ બને છે, nothing wrong.
Nothing exactly. અને એ લોકો ખરેખર સ્ટુડન્ટ ને તો અમે કહીએ જ છીએ કે ડિઝાઇન એન્જિનિયરિંગ એ લોકો જોડે બહુ જ એક ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી છે, એમાં એ લોકો ઘણું સારું કરી શકે એવું છે.
I agree. I mean, engineers are, I'll tell you, engineers are the most potential entrepreneurs I see.
Yes. ના છે અમારા ને સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ
એન્જિનિયરિંગ નો મતલબ જ પ્રોબ્લેમ અને સોલ્યુશન પેલું કરવું.
Yes, student પણ અમુક વાર ઘણા, like, we have some good projects are going on with the SSIPs and all that. સરસ કરતા હોય છે. અને આ એક હવે થોડું બેઝિકલી વોટ આઈ હેવ પ્લાન કે આપણા જે સેશનમાં ફર્સ્ટ અને સેકન્ડ યરના સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ વધારે જોઈન થાય.
રાઈટ.
કારણ કે હજુ now they are just starting.
Exactly.
The college days.
એટલે પેલું એટીટ્યુડ ચેન્જ થાય.
હા, એટલે એ થોડું એ ડાયરેક્શનમાં એમને શું કે થોડું ગાઈડન્સ મળતું રહે, then they can go further. એટલે એ રીતે થોડું પ્લાન કરી અને પછી મેં સ્ટુડન્ટ્સને એ રીતે ઇન્વાઇટ કર્યા હતા.
Wonderful.
Yes, any other questions, students? I think we are done. So Rajan sir, thank you very much for joining us, giving your valuable time. It's really been a wonderful time, and the question answer session was excellent.
Thank you.
The students are very satisfied with your responses. Okay. I would like to ask Sujal, please come up with the vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Firstly, thank you, sir. The thought you put into action for developing organic and sustainable lifestyle is truly terrible. And the idea which you delivered to the way of thinking is such an amazing for all of us to start a startup and implement on it. Thank you so much, sir, for a valuable time and for providing us with impeccable knowledge. It gave us very good insights and inspired us all. It will be surely helpful for all of us to get this knowledge. Again, thank you so much, sir. Hope all have a good weekend. Thank you.
Pleasure is always mine. All are welcome at the store whenever they want to meet me or એમને જ visit કરવું હોય તો you are most welcome to give feedback also later. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Most welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Presentation તમને share કરી આપીશ.
Fine, sir. I will send the thanking letter, and along with the and reply that you can sign the.
Definitely.
Fine. Thank you, sir. Wonderful. Bye. Okay, thank you all students. Thank you for joining and having some ninth concussion. Mohit and Dhairya, special thanks to you. You made it very saras rakyu tame. Okay, thank you all students. You can leave the meeting. Have a good weekend. Thank you. Yes, Sujal, Dhruvil, special thanks to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sujal, it was very nice. Dhruval, you always rock.
Yes.
Okay, chalo. Thank you all. Saras karyu tame. Good arrangement. Right? Thank you. I will just close the meeting. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.